Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
This is Legion from Cultus Black, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. As always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a huge privilege to have Cultus Black featuring Legion, formerly of Motograder. Cultus Black has released their lyric video, You Make Me Sick. And a lot of things do and a lot of people make me sick, so kudos, off their upcoming debut album, which will be recorded in September. So we're going to be talking to Legion about all this good stuff and this awesome new band that's got a breath of fresh air, putting some stuff out there. So, Legion, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing awesome. Glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
So, who got the ball rolling to bring this band together, and how excited are you guys to release this upcoming album once all this gets spinning?
Oh, we're extremely excited. It's kind of been a long time coming, honestly. It started, you mentioned from Motograder. When I was on tour with Moto, I'd met Edsel Dope from the band Dope. And me and him started kind of talking and brainstorming about putting together a project. And from that, I started working on stuff with some other guys that I knew. And we just kind of slowly put it together till it got to a point where we're like, okay, we have enough songs now that we can try to put together an album. So we come up with an image and, we put the whole thing together, and it's been probably a good year and a half since we started trying to put this thing together. So we're really excited to finally be at this point where we're putting out music, we're putting out content, and we're, going to do shows and get the ball really rolling.
I like a lot of bands who have that horror/sci-fi image. And I like this, man. I mean, you got your cult, as you call them, and they're on black with the white masks. I think that's cool, man. And to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I hope I'm not stepping on nobody's toes or boundaries here, but to me, that's a huge, huge thank you and appreciation to Alice Cooper and those guys for what they did from back in the day to now. Yeah,
I mean, of course, all those bands influence today. Those bands influenced what came in the future, like Marilyn Manson and Slipknot and now us. It's one of those things that I don't know who the first person to do it was. Obviously Alice Cooper was one of the first to really make it a big thing. But I don't know. This sort of stuff's been around for many, many years. But I don't know. I definitely pay homage to the guys that came before us.
Did this band give you all a breath of fresh air and something new music-wise, personally?
For me, absolutely. Because, in my other bands, I've been obviously a part of the band, but it was never my project. It was never my baby. And so with this, I really wanted to do what the fuck I wanted to do. I wanted to create something from nothing. And so in that way, as an artist, as a creator, it's very fulfilling.
How's it been working with O'Donnell Media Group so far, Legion?
Oh, she's great. Yeah, we love working with her.
The debut album is being recorded in September. Are you still working on songs for the album, or do you already have the songs you are wanting to put on the album right now? Or are you still debating on a few?
We're still debating on a few. We definitely have more than enough, put it that way. And we're debating on which ones we want to use, and we are still writing. For me, I'm always writing. I just never stop. It's just one of those things, if you're an artist, I mentioned before, I am a musician to a degree, but I really consider myself to be more of an artist. I think there's kind of a different mindset. And so as an artist, as a creator, I'm just always creating. So there's never going to be a shortage of content,
But what's impressed or excited you the most about writing songs for this upcoming album for Cultus Black? What, like, you guys coming together and contributing on the writing process, what's impressed or excited you the most for it?
It's, again, it's just like being able to have this freedom just to do whatever we want, you know, like we don't have anybody that's kind of standing over us like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And, you know, it's got to be this sound because you got to kind of, you know, sound like this guy, or you got to, you know, there's just not anything inhibiting us. It's this total freedom to do whatever we want. And that's the most exciting part to me.
So you guys have released the lyric video for You Make Me Sick. Legion, was it hard to choose between any songs that you have right now that possibly could have been the first lyric single that you guys wanted to push? Is there any that's out there that you could talk about a little bit?
It's funny you should ask that, because there was some debate. We had like 3 different ones that we were debating on, and there are various stages of heaviness and catchiness. And because, you know, I can sing like clean vocals, obviously, you know, some of my past work have been on the radio and stuff like that, but I also really like heavy stuff. And we're kind of trying to make a statement. We're trying to, you know, push ourselves out there as a force to be reckoned with. So we're like, okay, well, we can either release something that is kind of more catchy that we could get on the radio and we could try to climb the Billboard charts like we did with Moto, or, you know, we can do something that's more aggressive, that's kind of underground, and it's going to hit a different market. In the long run, we decided to do this one, which is one of our heavier songs, and there's quite a bit of profanity in it and that sort of stuff. We decided to do that, and incidentally, I've been trying to push this lyric video, and just today, we're trying to get a Google ad, YouTube ads going for it to, you know, to promote the song so people see it. And 12 days it took them to review our track, and then they come back just today and disapproved it for shocking content.
Jeez.
And yeah, and I don't know if you've seen the video, but I mean, it's really not that shocking. You know? No,
it's not. No, not by far.
It's a fucking metal band, you know. I mean, it's just music, you know, and yet for some reason, because there's cursing in it, that has to be demonetized and demonized. And yet you have people like, I don't know if you've heard recently about there was they call them influencers, you know, the YouTube talking heads and stuff.
Yeah.
And one of them got murdered, and the person that killed them took pictures with their dead body and put it online. And that's cool, you know, but if you have a metal band and you are swearing in your video, then you're demonetized and demonized. And, you know, that to me is ridiculous. And that is largely what this song is about. I mean, that it really, when we put this together, and we actually have another video that is a lot more offensive that we're going to release here shortly in response to the fact that we are being demonetized by Google for something that is not even, do you see what I'm getting at here?
Sure. Yeah. It's like everything you do, it's like, oh, can't do that. Oh, can't do that. Everything, I don't know, man. It seems like people are, how can I put this, babyfied now. Everything you say or do, it offends me. I don't like the way you eat. That offends me. I want to have you just be, you know, not be able to eat here no more. Just stupid shit like that. We need to actually like get some balls, get some thick skin, and just move on. I mean, come on, folks. You know, look what our forefathers done. I mean, seriously, come on. That's all I gotta say is just grow up. Come on.
I mean, kids hear language worse than that.
Oh
in their fucking kindergarten class,
for sure.
You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And to me, it's deeper than that. It's just this whole. There's a degree of freedom of speech to this, to me, because why should it matter? I mean, if they wanted to, they could do the same thing that movies and, you know, like explicit lyrics or something like that. But they don't even do that. They're just straight up, nope, can't do this. You're going to have to bleep out your stuff. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Now, this album is going to be produced by James Paul Wisner. That's worked with
Yeah,
Under Oath,
that's right.
Hands Like Houses, and Paramore. Have you worked with him previously, and what was the draw to work with him, possibly?
I have not personally worked with him. Well, one of my guitarists in this project had worked with him on some previous stuff, and he just gave him glowing reviews and really wanted to work with him and talked him up a lot. And I looked at some of his stuff, and locationally, he's good for us because he's down in Florida. We can kind of drive there and back, and we don't have to fly everybody out, and that sort of stuff. So that's good. And his body of work speaks for himself. He's, multiple gold record producer, So yeah, that's pretty much why we decided to go with him.
Who did the artwork for the album, or cover art, or what's going on with this so far, if you could talk about that? I hate to spill any beans, but this is actually pretty cool, man.
Well, thank you. It's really, we have, I say the cult, we have a real team of people that has been working with us, and friends and family that we have leaned on for many different things. But as far as the artwork itself goes, it's Shauna Heath and some other friends of mine, Tim and Jamie, who are graphic artists and animators. They have helped us with the imagery, and I've done some work myself, just in Photoshop and drawing up different things. And we've got a lot of people that help us out and work with us, and it's a cult effort.
What do you hope everyone takes away from this album, or message you hope to hear while listening to it, or just any of Cultus Black's music in general? Once all this comes out, and plus this new lyric video that you have, You Make Me Sick, what do you hope everybody gets from everything?
Well, I don't like to really tell people what they should get out of a song that I've done, because I feel like when you create something and then you put it out into the world, it's really up to the world to decide what it is to them, like as on an individual basis. Because if you write lyrics to something and somebody's like really connecting with it, and then you turn around and you put out a statement saying, oh, it's about this thing over here, and it's totally not about what they were connecting it to, then you've just killed their buzz.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, shit. Like, I had this deep connection with the song, and it doesn't mean that at all. So I really try to not pigeonhole stuff like that. Everything that we do is art. It's up to interpretation. And, people will find in it what they're going to find in it. And in a lot of ways, it's a mirror. It's a reflection of your own self.
I know this is a crazy question, but do you see this band still musically growing, possibly? Or has it just been more of a personal growth for all of you guys coming together as Cultus Black?
I would say both. I mean, we're all growing all the time, as a unit and as individuals, and the music is growing, and we're kind of like a black hole sucking in all these different people that are joining the cult and helping us along the way. So we are constantly growing.
Kicking ass and taking souls.
Hell yeah.
When you're coming into the recording studio, do you like to do anything differently during the writing and recording process to help keep your mind fresh and open, to not get bored with it? I know these are two concepts, but do you do anything, Legion, that helps you?
Well, as far as being in the studio, I'm very, one mind. Like, I'm not thinking about anything else really other than music. So I'm very single-minded, single-focused. But a lot of times I will put on, I'll listen to, I like it more so than reading. I like to hear it, because I like to hear the cadence of it and everything else. It just helps me kind of get in the zone. But yeah, I'll listen to people read like Edgar Allan Poe stuff, or even some like live spoken word from random people, known or unknown, just whatever I can get a hold of that's interesting, that's poetic,
In your own opinion, what does Cultus Black bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now? I mean, I know no one's reinventing the wheel, but in your own opinion, what do you guys bring to that table?
What do we bring to the table that nobody else brings to the table? Intensity. I think we have an intensity about us and a realness and dedication to what we're doing that is sorely lacking in the music industry right now. We're not the only band that has, intensity, but we're one of the few, I would say. There's a lot of kind of prefabricated bullshit out there, and a lot of bands that are just kind of painting by numbers, but I feel like that's not us.
And we get it, man. We could tell when you're standing behind your music, and if you guys can't stand behind your music, how am I supposed to stand behind it?
Yeah, who will? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not try to be like an ass or sound like an ass or anything about it, but I mean, that's just the truth. You could tell it.
Absolutely.
When this goes out on the road, man, what can fans expect at a show from Cultus Black? We're going to have a big theatrical stuff going on. What's going to be happening?
Yeah, absolutely. I would just say fucking find us, come out to a show. You will, you'll enjoy yourself. We have a lot of stuff in the works, obviously the image being what it is, you can already kind of tell that it's going to be a show more so than just, some dudes playing some instruments on stage, more so than anything. I mentioned intensity. We want to bring that intensity, that's one of the big things to me. You mentioned if you're not behind your music, then who will be? And I feel like that really comes across in a live performance, because you see bands that get up there and they just play their instruments and they're not really feeling it. So why the fuck is the crowd gonna feel it? I feel like for us, that's going to be a big thing, is putting forth all the energy that we possibly can, and then some, of just intensity and bring the fucking fight.
What made you want to become a musician, Legion? What was that spark for you that said, yeah, that's what I want to do right there?
I guess it was kind of a slow going thing over time, because when I was a kid, I did sing and stuff, actually in church, ironically enough, with my grandmother, and did that whole thing. But then when I kind of started becoming of age and I started questioning religion and all that sort of stuff, I completely stopped singing, stopped going to church, stopped doing all that stuff. And then some time went by, and eventually I started listening to bands like Nine Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson and guys like that. And I don't know, I kind of felt some sort of power from that I hadn't before. And it changed my life, for the lack of a, better way of saying it. I went from just this dorky little kid that got picked on and, no one liked, to being feared just by the music that I listened to and the way I dressed. And so I kind of recognized that there was power in that. So I gravitated towards that. And, over time, different bands influenced me. But I don't know, once I got a taste for it, I couldn't turn back.
Since this lyric video has came out, is there a country that stands out or shocks you that Cultus Black, this lyric video is getting played in, or you guys are getting support from, possibly, that you could tell?
Anything that shocks me? No, the only thing that shocks me is the demonetization. But as far as being shocked about people supporting us, no, not really. I'm happy to see, the support that we've been getting, and we're very grateful of it. But there's not anywhere in particular that has shocked me.
When is this album slated to come out, possibly?
I really can't say a release date, other than it'll be sometime next year. We're going to record it, and then of course you got to go through all those processes. But then we're going to shop it. We would like to get on a label if we can find one that is going to work for us. We're not going to just sign with anybody. So we want to try to do that and find a label. So then it may take longer, depending on the label of what time we put it out. It's too early to tell.
Legion, how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, tour dates, all this good stuff when this hits the fan? How can they do that, man?
Shit, right now, people can buy. We have some merch on sale at our website. It's cultusblack.com. Pretty straightforward. And, of course, we're on Facebook. We're pretty much everywhere. We have an Indiegogo campaign going right now, trying to make up money for the album, which is going to end in like 3 weeks. So I would definitely urge people to go over to that. We have some pretty cool stuff on there. We have obviously the album pre-order. We have signed album pre-orders. We have lyric sheets from me. We have opportunities to be in future music videos. We have all kinds of cool stuff on there. So I would urge people to go check that out. Of course, like I said, the website, we're on Facebook. The YouTube is you look us up, you'll find us, but it's youtube.com/C/Cultus Black.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for the show?
This is Legion from Cultus Black, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you'll hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link, YouTube link, and soon our Twitch link. Also, get out and check out Cultus Black. Check out their lyric video for You Make Me Sick. Go out and check out this band. Support them. Give them some time, folks. You'll like them. Thank you so much, Legion. I wish you guys the best of luck from here on out, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.